How to confirm rejection before you fade the move. Most traders don't lose fading extremes because the idea is wrong. They lose because they fade too early. They see price stretch into a high or low, assume it has gone too far, and step in before the market has actually shown rejection. That is not professional fading. That is anticipation without confirmation. And in futures, especially in NQ and ES, fading a move without confirmation usually means getting run over by initiative activity that is still unfinished. If you want higher quality reversals, you need to stop asking, is this move extended? And start asking, has the auction actually rejected this price? Because extension alone is not rejection. And this is where most traders get trapped. The core problem. A move can be overextended and still keep going. A market can trade outside value, push through a prior extreme, sweep liquidity, and still continue auctioning higher or lower because the market is accepting those prices. That matters, because when you fade a move, you are making a very specific bet. You are betting that the auction has gone too far, failed to find acceptance, and is now likely to rotate back toward value. That is a very different idea than simply saying, this looks too high, or this looks too low. Professional fades are not based on discomfort. They are based on evidence. And the evidence has to show that higher prices or lower prices are not being accepted. What rejection actually means. Rejection means the market tested an area and failed to do business there. It means the auction explored higher or lower, but could not attract enough participation to hold those prices. In practical terms, rejection usually shows up as a failed push away from value, an inability to continue after a sweep or breakout, aggressive response from the other side, and rotation back into a more accepted area. That is the key. A true rejection should lead to return, not just a pause, not just a small hesitation, not just one red candle after 10 green ones. A real rejection should show that the move away from value is failing and that the market is beginning to rotate back toward a logical magnet. Usually that magnet is value, VWAP, a prior high volume node, the point of control, or the other side of a short-term balance. Why traders fade too early? Most traders confuse three things: stretch, exhaustion, and rejection. Stretch means price has traveled far. Exhaustion means momentum may be weakening. Rejection means the auction has actually failed. Those are not the same thing. A stretched move can keep trending. An exhausted move can pause and then continue. Only rejection gives you a valid reason to fade with structural logic. And if you do not understand that difference, you will keep fading initiative activity as if it is finished when it is still in control. That is how traders get chopped up at highs, trapped at lows, and stopped out right before the actual reversal finally forms. What you need to confirm before fading. Before you fade the move, you want evidence in 3 layers: location, behavior, and confirmation. Location comes first. You want the fade attempt happening at a meaningful structural area. That might be outside value, into prior day high or low, at a composite high volume node edge, into an LVN response area, around a sigma band extension, after a liquidity sweep, or at a clear prior excess zone. If the location is poor, the trade will most likely also be poor. Mid-range fades are usually low quality because there is no structural asymmetry, no clean invalidation, no obvious reason for responsive trade to appear. So first, the location has to matter. Second, behavior. Once price reaches that location, you want to see failure to continue. That can look like breakout failure, stalled initiative activity, inability to hold above the breakout area, absorption at the extreme, delta pushing without meaningful price progress, or a fast return back through the level that was supposed to hold. This is critical. If buyers are still lifting offers and price is holding above the breakout area, that is not rejection. If sellers are still hitting bids and price is holding below the breakdown area, that is not rejection. Behavior must show that the move is losing acceptance. Then comes confirmation. Confirmation means the market gives you evidence that responsive activity is actually taking control. That may be a reclaim of the broken level, a return inside value, a failure outside the prior day range, a shift in order flow, a lower high after a failed push-up, a higher low after a failed push down, or a clean rotation that proves the auction is no longer succeeding at the extreme. This is the part most traders skip. They want to be first. Professionals want to be right. A simple framework. Here's the simplest way to think about it. Do not fade the extreme. Instead, fade the failed auction. That one shift changes everything. The extreme by itself is only a location. The failed auction is the signal. Location tells you where to pay attention. Failure tells you whether a trade is actually there. If you combine those two ideas, you stop taking random counter-trend stabs and start focusing on asymmetrical reversals. That is where low variance fading comes from. Not from predicting the exact high or low, from waiting for the market to prove that the breakout or breakdown failed. Example in NQ. Let's say NQ opens and begins trending higher through the morning. Price pushes above prior day high.VWAP. Retail traders see the extension and immediately begin shorting because it feels too far, too fast. That is the wrong framework. The better question is this: did the auction get accepted above prior day high, or did it fail there? If price pushes above prior day high and starts building volume there, holding above the level, accepting above VWAP, and continuing to auction higher, there is no rejection. You do not fade that. But if price pushes above prior day high, sweeps resting liquidity, prints aggressive buying, then fails to continue, slips back below the level, loses the breakout, and rotates back toward VWAP, now you have something very different. Now the market has tested higher prices and failed to hold them. Now the fade has context. Now your invalidation can be structural. And now your target can be logical. That is a real trade, not because the market was high, but because the auction failed above a meaningful level. What confirmation can look like in real time. In real time, rejection usually does not feel dramatic. That is another reason traders miss it. They are waiting for a huge reversal candle or some obvious cinematic turning point. But real confirmation is usually quieter and more structural. Price stops advancing. The breakout cannot hold. The next push gets absorbed. Delta looks strong, but price does not move much. Price rotates back through the level that should have held if the move were genuine. That is the clue. The market is telling you that aggression is no longer producing results. And when aggression stops producing results at a meaningful location, rejection becomes much more credible. This is why order flow matters, but only in context. Order flow should confirm the story of the auction. It should not replace structure. A trader who watches delta without location will overtrade noise. A trader who understands location first can use order flow as confirmation instead of distraction. The common mistake. The common mistake is fading the first sign of hesitation. One pause is not rejection. One wick is not rejection. One candle against the move is not rejection. A market can hesitate, refill, and continue. That happens every day. What you want is evidence that the attempted acceptance outside the area has failed. That means failure to continue and return to accepted trade. If you do not get the return, you probably do not have the rejection. This is why patience is part of edge. Waiting for confirmation is not being late. It is filtering bad trades. And for prop firm traders especially, that matters. Because premature fades create unnecessary drawdown. They force wider stops, worse entries, and emotional decision-making. Clean confirmation gives you tighter invalidation, more logical targets, and better survival. How to structure the trade. Once rejection is confirmed, your trade plan becomes much cleaner. Your entry should come after the failure is visible, not while the market is still trying to auction beyond the level. Your invalidation should sit beyond the rejected extreme, or beyond the point where the rejection thesis no longer makes sense. And your target should be a logical magnet. Usually that means VWAP, point of control, value area, a nearby HVN, or the opposite side of a short-term balance. This is the key to professional execution. You are not just taking a reversal. You are trading a failed auction back toward acceptance. That gives the trade narrative structure and a symmetry. Without that, the fade is just opinion. When not to fade. There are times when you should not fade at all. If the market is in clear initiative trend with strong acceptance outside value, do not stand in front of it. If price breaks a level and immediately builds structure above it, do not call that rejection just because you missed the move. If there is no meaningful location, no failed auction, and no clear target magnet, the trade is probably not there. This is where discipline matters more than pattern recognition. A lot of traders know what rejection looks like after the fact. Very few are disciplined enough to avoid trading before it is confirmed. That difference is what keeps a trader alive. Professional framework. The professional framework is simple. First, identify the structural area that matters. Second, watch whether price is accepted or rejected there. Third, wait for confirmation that the attempted auction failed. Fourth, define invalidation structurally. And fifth, target the return to value or another accepted area. That is how you remove guesswork. That is how you stop fading movement and start fading failed auctions. And that is how counter-trend trading becomes more precise, more selective, and more survivable. Because the best fades are not emotional reactions to extension. They are calculated responses to rejection. Closing. If this is a concept you struggle with, study your losing fades and ask one question. Did I fade extension, or did I fade confirmed rejection? That one distinction will clean up a lot of unnecessary trades. A lot of traders would improve immediately if they simply stopped trying to call the turn and waited for the auction to prove failure first. That idea is a major part of the framework behind this channel, and it is one of the reasons serious traders get more out of the free content when they study the full model inside Trading on the Edge. The book is designed to be the complete operating framework behind these concepts: value, rejection, acceptance, invalidation, execution, and trade selection, so you can approach the market with more structure and less noise. If you found this useful, go deeper into the next concept, replay this with charts, and journal the difference between stretched moves and actual rejection. That is where better execution starts. Like and subscribe. See you in the next one.